Hey everybody, how you doing? This is about to be a really fun video. Out at the range today with heavy metal, and I am about to sight in this rifle for the very first time. I'm super excited. I have not fired it yet. I've run the action. It's got a sweet trigger on it, and we're about to sight this setup in for the first time. If you're not familiar with it, this is a CVA Cascade bolt action rifle. That's right, it's a CVA and it's not a muzzle loader. And this particular one is chambered in 22-250, and the ammo I got out here today is 55 grain soft point. And why am I sighting it in with that? Because that's the cheapest ammo I can find for this rifle. But we're going to get it sighted in pretty close, do some groups with that, and down the road we'll probably do some ammo testing and see what particular ammo that this setup likes the best, and we're going to try to do some hunting with this rifle too. I got to give you another up close look at it, but like I said, CVA Cascade 22-250. This one's got a 22-inch barrel. It's a threaded barrel, and the scope that I got on top of this is a Styrka S7 with the BDC reticle. Super sweet setup. I'm going to quit talking about it and put some on paper. First, I'm just going to take a shot at about 20 yards and make sure that we're close, and then we'll take it back to 100 and see what we can do grouping this cheapest 22-250 ammo I can find. But should be pretty cool. Let's load this thing up and get it pretty close, sight it in a little bit low at 20 yards, and we'll take it back to 100. Alright, now I loaded a few of these rounds, 3 or 4 in this rifle in the mag. And how fast is this supposed to be going? These are 55 grainers going 3650 feet per second at the muzzle. At 20 yards down there, I'll put it on the screen up here, I've got a paper plate. I'm going to hold dead center on the circle, and I put an X guesstimate right around where I think the bullet should be hitting at 20 yards to get us close to where we'll be dead on at 100. But let's take a shot here. I just slapped this scope on at about 5 o'clock this morning, so hopefully I was awake enough to know what I was doing. But we're going to see where she hits at 20 yards here. And this thing has a real sweet trigger, so I'm going to be real careful as I squeeze this trigger off here. Make sure that my hold is good. Alright, so that was just a hair right. My trigger, I felt like I pulled the trigger good. Tell you what, let me take these off. I'd say that was pretty good scope mounting there, huh? For the first shot out of this. I didn't even try to bore sight it or anything, but let me get a little screwdriver, and I want to come down and to the left a hair. Alright, let's take a second shot and see if those adjustments got me any closer to that X there. Oh yeah, that's good left and right. I'm going to take us a hair bit down. Let's go 4 clicks. And let's see where the third shot gets us. This one ought to be pretty close enough for us to go back to 100, but man, this is some clear glass on here. Huh. Well, that one hit left. Mm-hmm. We're going to call that one my fault. And I'm going to do a couple more clicks down for good measure. I got one more bullet in here, and we'll probably take it back to 100. Oh yeah, that's right where I want it. But first impressions of this rifle, first time shooting it, this thing has an awesome trigger, and I love the magazine. Magazine's good, fits good up in the rifle, and the trigger's awesome. But we got it right where we want it, I think. Let's take it back to 100 yards with this ammo and see what we can do. And like I said, this isn't some kind of precision match grade ammo, cheapest stuff I could find, but I think it ought to still do us pretty good out of this rifle. I think if I can shoot the rifle good and squeeze that trigger off right, we ought to do pretty good at 100. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put 5 rounds in this rifle, and we'll shoot 5 at 100 yards and dial it right in at 100. Alright now y'all, I've got my pickup backed up on the range here. You can see the rifle in the bed, and our 100-yard target is right around there. We set you guys up so you can see me and the target at the same time. Let's take 5 shots. Well, we'll take one, see if we still need to tune it, then we'll dial it in from there. We'll see what happens. And it's also worth mentioning quick, these CVA Cascades are guaranteed sub MOA rifles, so even with this cheap ammo, I think we ought to do pretty good. Give me just a second here to dial in this vise here. That's not bad there. Alright, so we got our target down range. Set this scope on 100 parallax and squeeze this trigger real easy here. I'm going to hold dead center and we'll see where she hits. That's almost dead center. Is that center shot? Yeah, so Paul's down there with the spotter, and I don't think we could have done that any better.
Nah, that's awesome.
Alright, so yeah, the CVA lords are shining on us today, but I'm gonna go ahead and shoot a 5-shot group.
Do it.
Let's shoot 5 of this and see what happens. Ready? I'm not even going to touch the scope, obviously, but see what we can do with it. Just a shade left of that last one. Shade right and up. That one, I felt like I actually pulled the trigger a little bit. Let me focus on my trigger a little bit better this time. Oh yeah. One more shot here. We're punching the same hole just about. I'm impressed. Let's run down there, see what kind of groups we got at 100 yards with this cheap ammo. Alright, now there's the target behind us we were shooting. I haven't walked right up to it, but from what I could see through the scope down there at 100 yards, I'm crazy impressed. Let's walk up close and see how we did. So, set this down. Remember, we took 5 shots. So let's take a look here. Now I was doing my best to pull the trigger on dead center. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 shots. 3 of them almost about in the same hole and just about where my hold was there, dead center. So I am absolutely impressed, and their sub MOA guarantee is dead on right there, even with that cheapest ammo I could find. I'm not an expert shooter, but you can see there, hey, that rifle can shoot. Very, very impressed with that CVA Cascade in 22-250. That thing is on. But at the end of the day, I cannot say enough good things about this rifle. Very, very impressed. Just about the same hole at 100 yards. So between this scope, Styrka S7, and this CVA Cascade, man, shooting awesome groups. I cannot wait to test out some different ammo. I bet we can do even better than that, and cannot wait to get this thing out in the deer woods. But to give you another close look here, there's that FDE Cerakote, the camo stock CVA Cascade 22-250. Excellent shooter. Trigger is amazing. Magazine fitment is perfect. I can't say enough about it. Hey, check them out. As always, appreciate you guys watching big time. Cannot say enough about this setup. I've got to get some people to shoot this and tell me what they think about it. But a big shout out and a big thanks to the Heavy Metal channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the Hootie Hoo channel if you haven't already. Put one of these CVAs in your hand and let me know what you think about it. We'll see you on the next one. Hootie Hoo!